In this video, we're going to take a look at the screw slider block to model in Fusion. So on our drawing, it's going to be very similar to how we did on the pin slider. A little bit different measurements for most of this, but as far as the heights go, but other than that, most should be fairly simple. So we're going to go ahead and get started. In this one here, you may want to say save. This is the screw slider block. Hit the save. New component. And we'll call this screw slider. Say OK. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to start us off very similar how we did. Create a new sketch. Choose that right plane. I'm going to go ahead and use the line tool. Click to draw the similar sketch that what we had in the last video. And I'm going to apply the same geometric constraints. Choose midpoint, choose the bottom line, choose the origin. I'm going to choose the collinear, choose the two lines here, and choose horizontal vertical, hold the shift key, find my midpoint, choose the origin. Okay, as far as the heights go, I'm going to go ahead and choose this height. This one here is a little bit different, 3.355. 0.355 gets entered, and now this sizes the sketch down. I'm going to have to zoom in a little bit here. Let me drag this dimension a little closer. The overall height at 844. And then this should have the very similar depth measurements, 0.141, the overall 0.734. Okay, again we have a fully constrained sketch here. I can finish, and it's going to have the same extrusion width here. So I'm going to do a symmetric extrusion, whole length, and the whole length is going to be set at 1.75, and I'm going to say OK. Okay, per our drawing, we still have a 0.125 chamfer on those edges, and then we're just going to look at putting in whole 0.177 through, but then it also has this little hexagonal cutout. So I'm going to go ahead and go into Fusion here. Let's get most of this created. Chamfer, choose the same points that I did on the last video. There it is. And this is going to be 0.125. And I'm going to say OK. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click on Create Sketch, and I'm going to choose the top face of this. Since I did that symmetric extrusion, I'm going to go ahead and choose Point, so that's automatically going to go through. I'm just going to click the origin, and then that way that puts a point right there, and it's already in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and say OK. Choose my hole command. This is just going to be a simple hole that goes through. So I'm on my settings. I'm going to say through all, extents all, and I'm going to choose the simple hole, which is the very first one. So here's our menu. Diameter is going to be 0.177, and I'm going to go ahead and say OK. Now to do the very last part is I need to go down to the bottom, and I need to draw a hexagon in here to go through 0.386 regular hexagon drilled down a depth of 0.255. So I'm going to go back into Fusion, go ahead and I'm going to say Create Sketch, and I'm going to click the bottom face of my slider. Now the cool thing about this is I'm going to hit Create, go to Polygon, Edge Polygon, and actually I'm going to choose Polygon, and I want to do Circumscribe Polygon. So I'm going to go ahead and on this one I'm going to click the center for the origin, and I'm going to draw this out. And looking at my drawing, the points come up toward the top. So when I go to draw this, these points that I have on my polygon, I'm going to go through and kind of get them in the same position. So I'm going to click the set it like this. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do the horizontal vertical. I'm going to click on this point, and I'm going to click on the origin. So that way the points are going to come up like they are. When I go to dimension, if I click on this line and this line, this is where they're showing those dimensions. That's 0.386, and let's double check the drawing. .386, and it's going to be cut in .255. So 0.386, hit enter. That sets up a fully constrained sketch. I'm going to say finish. I'm going to put this out to the side, that way we can see it. Hit extrude, choose my rectangular shape. I'm going to do a negative 0.255. So that way it cuts into the shape, and I'm going to say OK. There's the hexagonal shape cut into the part. And there we have our final edit to our slider block. So last thing we need to do here, modify physical material. And we're going to choose the ABS plastic, drag and drop, say close, and then I'm going to choose appearance. And let's say we make this a different color just for the sake of it. We'll throw red on there. And we'll hit close. Now we can go and check out our properties. And here's our properties that we could go through and see. And in that way, you can go ahead and put those onto your document to submit.